Hello, colors. Welcome back to Viva Basa and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We start with Pablo Gavi as Barca director Deco have rolled out signing a replacement for the midfielder. We are going to discuss more on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Captain Sergi Roberto, as it has been reported that Roberto is close to receiving medical discharge and could play more following Gavi's injury. We are also going to discuss more on that story. So as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are much welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. Barcelona were dealt with a huge blow this week when it was confirmed that Gavi had ruptured the anterior cruciate ligament of his right knee, ruling him out for the remainder of this season. With Gavi no longer available to play, Barcelona are understood to be looking for a replacement for the 19-year-old midfield prodigy once the January transfer window opens. Names like Giovanni Lo Celso and Thiago Alcantara have been linked with a move to Barcelona. Barcelona sporting director Deco was recently asked about the club's plans and how they plan on tackling the absence of Gavi in the second half of the season. And the former midfielder made it clear that there was no way the club could find a suitable replacement for Gavi, stating that there is no player on the market capable of doing what he does. Speaking to EFE, Deco said, as of today, Gavi is a player who cannot be replaced. There is no player on the market available to do his job, neither with his mentality nor with his ability. To argue about replacing Gavi is a mistake. It is a mistake to think that we are going to find a player to replace him. We won't, he further added. Putting an end to the possibility of signing a replacement for Gavi, Deco stated, "We are not going to go crazy with Gavi's injury. It's sad for him, for us as a club, but we won't find a replacement." So, does it mean we'll go for in-house solutions? If Barcelona do not plan to replace Gavi, they could be forced to look for solutions from within the club. Such a scenario would likely mean more minutes for Fermin Lopez, who is enjoying a breakthrough campaign with Barcelona. Beyond that, Sergio Roberto could also be an option in midfield when necessary. Young talents like Alex Garrido, Unai Hernandez, Marc Bernal, and Marc Casado could also be a viable option for Xavi and Barcelona. Of course, I love the statement from our sporting director Deco. I don't think Barca should be rushing out there to sign another midfielder. We have Fermin for crying out loud, who can come in and play more. He has been playing, yes, but it's not like because La Liga have that opportunity where you can buy another player if you're injured, if you have an injured player for a long time. It doesn't mean we should do that because for me, their priorities now. Their priorities, the problem should not be in midfield. Frankie de Jong is coming back from injury. Yes, Frankie is not like he plays the same position like Gavi. They are two different players, but come on. We have Fermin Lopez. Javi have a lot. We have players that can patch up. Pedri, Ilkay Gundogan, they are there. So there's no need to spend another chunk of money on salary for another player when we have players like Vitor Roque that we need to crack our head on how can they make it to Barca in January. Those are things that I think the club should be thinking more about. You know, Gavi's injury was such an unfortunate one, as he got seriously injured with an ACL tear, which will roll him out for close to 9 months, which means his season is practically over. And of course, Deco is just cooling down any rumor of a new player likely to join to replace Gavi. Deco insisted in this interview that, look, we are not replacing Gavi. It is crazy that we always talk about this, but we are not replacing Gavi. Of course, Gavi is a player who is irreplaceable. Nobody can replace his mentality, his aggression, and the passion he has when playing. And of course, Barca have other things that they should be thinking more on. And of course, can you go for in-house solutions? We have a lot of options. So exactly why I don't even see the need for Barcelona to be cracking their heads or to be stressing on how they can go about bringing a new midfielder. That we just have to players who have not been playing more because of the tight competition. I think they'll play more now. Like I call Fermin Lopez, for instance. He has been so impressive this season, and I think he will have to play more. Sergio Roberto have been injured, our captain, but of course it has been reported that Sergio Roberto has now been given the medical green light as he's set to start playing, which means his playing time will likely increase after Gavi's absence. Of course, we just have to do just that. I don't think there's any urgency for Barca to rush and say, no, we must bring a new midfielder and stuff like that because it's not that necessary for now. And then on to the final story of discussion. The ACL injury to Gavi has left Barca in a difficult situation, considering that one of their most important players will be out of the remainder of the season. The 19-year-old is set to undergo surgery later this month and is expected to be out on the sidelines for close to 8 months. This leaves a big hole in the midfield department for Barca. But Sporting Director Deco hinted earlier today that the club might not look to sign a replacement for Gavi. In that scenario, manager Xavi will have to look at solutions internally to plug the gap in midfield department in the months to come. As such, Mundo Deportivo is reporting that Barca captain Sergio Roberto would be an option for Xavi to replace Gavi. The 31-year-old club captain is set to receive medical discharge imminently after having been out sidelined with a leg injury for over a month. And once he is cleared for action, Xavi could utilize Roberto more in the absence of Gavi in the upcoming games. The Barca veteran has not played much this season but continues to have a key role off the field. According to a report, Xavi sees Roberto as more of a midfielder than a right back, which counts in the favor of the La Masia graduates. As such, there is an opportunity for him to feature more regularly on the pitch as well, with Gavi's injury opening the doors. So what are the other options for Xavi? As has been reported previously, Xavi could now rely more and more on Fermin Lopez to fill the void left by Gavi's injury. Meanwhile, young talents like Alex Garrido and Unai Hernandez from the club's youth ranks could also benefit from the situation. There is also the possibility of Xavi giving more minutes to Oriol Romeo or even resorting to the left field option of deploying Joao Cancelo in midfield if needed. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.